that I observed with their father that became a bit complicated as they got involved together in a sporting club. But just a very quick background, the two boys, very different. The older boy, full of energy, love of life, which carried him very much through his school days, successfully both academically and sporting-wise, took him to university qualification, a gap year in London, the mandatory sort of trip around Europe, and life was a breeze. Meanwhile, his younger brother, he got most of his satisfaction and pleasure out of entertaining his mates at school by terrorising the teachers, a number of numerous pranks, including one day shutting down the local railway system, and which eventually I think the family knew was going to come to tears. Now, look, it did come to tears eventually, and the boy was introduced to the concept of employment a lot earlier than he probably would have liked. But anyway, look, he sort of got his act together, and upon his brother's return from the gap year in England, he went on to complete his university studies, and a little while later they decided that it would be nice to play football together at a low level, but there wasn't tremendous commitment to winning time and all those sort of things. Now, it was complicated by the fact that their coach left the team before the season started, and under urging, the father decided he would take up the role as coach. Now, look, the thing happened very quickly, and the season started off, and all of a sudden they realised that they were going to be quite a formidable organisation, or force in the competition, I should say. And so the season bounded along, things were happening very nicely, and we thought, well, yes, things are getting a little bit better than we thought. The competition for places was hotting up, and all of a sudden the father's thinking to himself, gee, if we get to finals, I might have to make some pretty tough decisions here. The older boy had established himself as one of the leaders in the team, and as the team progressed, the younger son was probably going to be on the edge of selection. So the season wound to an end, and the team, sure enough, finished in second spot. There was a lot of euphoria around the club. There was always talk of, possibly winning a premiership. That particular side had never won a premiership in that grade, and they'd never beaten the team above them. So that team had largely gone through the season undefeated. Now, the coach had decided, because he had more players than spots on a rotation basis, and the younger son was omitted for the first final. They were beaten quite easily, and a couple of significant things happened. Two of their leading players, including the captain, were badly injured and wouldn't play for the remainder of the season. What that did, it catapulted the older boy to become captain of the side, and it also freed up two places. And the father, I think, at that stage thought, that might be quite handy going forward. So what transpired is the following week, the son was taken back into the side, the younger boy. They all played very well, and they won a dramatic preliminary final with the last kick of the day. Now, that presented a tremendous euphoria and a sense of expectation around the club, and so going forward, everyone is excited about the potential to win a premiership the following week. The father, of course, had other concerns on his mind, because he knew that there would be a lot of scrutiny around selection, and that son was on the borderline, and he's thinking to himself, well, which way do I go? Do I be completely honest and make a hard decision? Or then he thought, what sort of a father would drop his son from a grand final side? So there was a lot of speculation about where this would all go. Anyway, the day arrived, and the selection committee got together, and the son was duly dropped for the grand final. His brother was captain, and the son obviously saw his great opportunity to win a premiership had been lost. So what happened then was that they won, euphoric victory, all very exciting, and the dejected son left the ground. After barracking hard all day, he did later confess that it had been tough. 10 years on, the two boys have found their way around the world with their jobs, and they make their way back to Melbourne for a 10-year reunion of this great day. So amidst much frivolity and watching the videos and reliving memories, they're all having a great time. But deep down, the hurt and pain of that day still lived with the young boy. And he was there with a few of his mates, and I think that pain was shared by them all. The happy part of the story is that my number 2 son and I are now talking again. Thank you.